Today I'm going to show you exactly how you can lose 10 pounds per month consistently without counting or restricting a single calorie at all whatsoever. And I know that sounds crazy, but in today's video, I'm going to reveal to you one simple hack that you can adapt to your lifestyle today, right now, after you're done watching this video, that is going to allow you to see that number on the scale not just go down, but stay down consistently each and every month. 60 to 70% of the American population is overweight, yet 60 to 70% of people do the exact same thing to lose weight: a caloric deficit. And we all know, if you've watched my videos, it does not work. And it simply does not address the root cause of the problem. And today I'm going to reveal that to you in this video. So stick around to the end so I can actually go over exactly how you can see those consistent results by applying this one simple hack to your lifestyle today, right now. So how on earth do I lose 10 pounds per month without actually counting calories? Here is the one simple hack, and here is my favorite analogy on how you can actually see those consistent results. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. You have a hormone called insulin. This is an anabolic hormone. In English, that means it is responsible for growth. And it is also responsible for the growth of your fat tissue. At the molecular level, it is responsible for the growth of your fat cell. We won't go down that rabbit hole, but all you need to know is that insulin is the ultimate predictor of how much body fat you're going to lose or gain. And depending on how high this hormone stays elevated for, that will dictate how much body fat you're going to lose or gain. So let's imagine this storage unit here that is overflown with all these boxes as your fat cell, right? And the truck that takes these boxes to the storage unit is insulin. And the boxes is glucose. Glucose is derived from carbohydrates. It is a substrate that can be derived from macronutrients. Not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but it is something that can certainly make you accumulate body fat. We're going to go over what foods are going to give you a strong insulin response, where you're going to put on body fat, and certain foods are not going to give you any sort of insulin response at all, right? But first, we got to still go over this analogy. So let's imagine that your fat cell is overflown with all these boxes, right? It's just stuffed with glucose. It's overwhelmed. That's exactly what's happening to guys like you or anyone else that's watching this video that wants to lose either just 20 pounds or 100. You're dealing with some level of an overflow paradigm like this. In a technical term, it's called hyperinsulinemia, which means that your insulin hormone is just staying elevated for a long period of time, and it's just stuffing your fat cell with all this glucose. And this is what it looks like from a metaphoric point of view. Like, metaphorically speaking, your fat cell is just overwhelmed. And whether you're looking to lose 20 pounds of body fat or 100 pounds of body fat, it does not matter. Your fat cell is going to be dealing with this same issue. So now you can see why, if you count or restrict calories, if you move more and you eat less, it is not going to solve this problem, because you need to eat foods that are going to give you that good insulin response. But what foods should you eat to actually get that response? You want to prioritize eating higher fat and higher protein foods from animals and let that take up the majority of your plate. Let me show you what that looks like. Probably will look something like this. Probably want to omit and take out that processed garbage in the corner, but the ground beef, the steak, all that is perfectly fine. Especially red meat. And I know there's a lot of you out there that certainly think that red meat is going to give you a heart attack and increase your risk for cardiovascular disease, but it certainly is not. And I got some research here that I can show you. Yeah, meta-analyses of randomized control trials. If you don't know what a randomized control trial is, it is the best form of research you could possibly do. It's just a study that controls every single variable. It's not some survey study. And here they did it on humans. And a meta-analysis is a gigantic overview of a lot of studies. So this was a big overview of a lot of randomized control trials in humans. In English, the best studies ever done on humans that took a look at red meat and the effects it had on inflammation and your risk for mortality. And it literally had no change. Even though cholesterol went up, had no change. Just because your cholesterol goes up from eating red meat, it may not have a negative effect on your inflammatory biomarkers or your ability to suffer from any sort of mortality risk. So that's why we want to prioritize foods like this, because once again, I want you to be an outlier, somebody that is doing things that 60 to 70% of people are not doing right now. Let's just go over that real quick. What is 60 to 70% of people doing right now to lose weight? They're counting or restricting calories. They might be doing what's called a plant-based diet, where they take some of these foods out of their diet. They're probably not doing much in the way of weight training, excuse me, or they're doing a whole lot in the way of cardio, right? All those things are going to keep you stuck and put you in a position where you're not going to see the number on the scale change at all, and especially not stay down. So, to kind of go over muscle a little bit, kind of taking a break from nutrition here, you got an untrained muscle here on the left and an optimally trained muscle on the right. One's healthy, one's not. Plain and simple. Plant on the left, dead, withered, gone. Done for. Plant on the right, super healthy, vibrant, great. Everything's going great. That's exactly what happens whenever you are working out. You're targeting each and every muscle group each week through weight training, and you're boosting your metabolic rate through that. And that's the health outcome that you'll have whenever you not only do some weight training, but you also optimize your diet. If you have no muscle mass, your metabolism is most likely not going to be very high, and definitely not near as high as somebody that has a lot in the way of muscle mass. You're going to be withered away like this dead plant, and we don't want that, right? So you got to be open to doing some weight training if you want to see some consistent results like this, right? So this is one of my clients, Chris. We started working together in July of 2023, concluded around early November, 36 pounds of weight loss. Boom. Another one of my clients lost 7 pounds in the first week applying this approach. Every single one of my clients I'm showing you right now is applying this approach right now in the program or has applied it to lose weight consistently, filling up their plate with higher fat and higher protein foods, of course a little bit of carbohydrates depending on the person, and including some weight training. Client Erik, 20 pounds in 2 months. Same exact approach. I followed the same thing. This is what I look like, in case you needed some confirmation. And some people do not believe me, but this was taken in 2022, and this is what I look like in 2023. I did not look like this in 2022. Let's just say that. I've taken an in-body scan. In a fasted state, it's even said 4.3%. I can reference that for you if you want, but this is my latest result of 5%. I know that's unrealistic. I'm not saying you can get down to 5% in a short period of time. I'm not saying that at all, but we can certainly get your body fat percentage low if we apply these methods here. Making the majority of your plate look like this, higher fat, higher protein foods, and including some natural carbohydrates too. So you don't have to just eat a full-on low carbohydrate diet, do carnivore or a ketogenic diet to lose weight. And that's certainly, of course, not sustainable. And, if you do that for the rest of your life, it's just not going to work out. Nobody can stick to that long term. I've had clients that have eaten up to 150 to 200 grams of carbohydrates per day and have still been able to lose weight. Chris started off with a lower carbohydrate diet, but then we transitioned him into eating more in the way of carbohydrates, and he still lost weight. We did that right when he got around to 210 pounds, and he lost 10 more pounds after that. Got right around 200 pounds. So it's 100% doable. It's just all about introducing carbohydrates at the right time. If you've been doing a ketogenic diet for a long time, your body hasn't seen carbs for 4 or 5 months, probably not a good idea to just all of a sudden start eating 200 grams of carbohydrates. That's why it's really nice to have a one-on-one coach that can actually direct you exactly what your carbohydrate intake should look like, and also give you some resources as to exactly not only what forms of carbohydrates you should be eating, but how much, right? Because those two factors are very important, the quantity and the quality of it. But if you've been watching this video, you know that the quality of your food is going to dictate this. This storage unit will be nice and clean with hardly any boxes in it if you're getting a good insulin response from eating healthy foods that taste great and that you enjoy. Who would not enjoy eating a big fat ribeye with a side of asparagus and mangoes and strawberries? And I'm just making this up on the fly. You can mix and match this in so many different ways. But in my opinion, if you're a guy watching this, you probably enjoy eating meat like I do. And I eat red meat every single day. And I look like that year round. And it's a lot easier than you think, especially when you have the right resources such as this. This is my program. I'm not going to go too in-depth into it. I'm just going to show you exactly the resources that you can have access to inside of my online program to be able to completely maximize your results, right? So one of those things, we'll go over nutrition first, is your meal plan. So when you first get onboarded, you have a foods to eat and avoid list. The list of foods that are going to give you that good insulin response, and the list of foods that are not going to give you that good insulin response at all, and the foods you should avoid. But we always give you a solution. This is Chris's meal plan here. He's really open to using his program, so I'm just recording it here. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more condensed. If you're looking at this on your phone, I'm recording this on my computer. He had more time to cook meals on the weekend. He was working 50 to 60 hours a week, but he wanted to relax and have some alternatives for foods on the weekend. And that's a huge problem with a lot of people that want to see consistent results, is that they eat good 50% of the time, but then botch their diet on the weekend because they have no plan and have no structure. So this is one. I'm just going to click on a random one here. Sheep pen sausage and Brussels sprout bake. I'm not sure if I'm into Brussels sprouts, but you get the idea. You have all sorts of different options. All the ingredients, the directions. This one takes a little bit longer. So if you wanted more longer recipes, I can give you that. If you wanted shorter recipes, if you're short for time, you want to do some meal prep that takes 10 minutes, we can do that. I can also send you my fully exclusive recipes too through the messenger. And that's really where all the personalization happens, where you have 24/7 access to message me as your one-on-one coach, so you know exactly what you should do every step of the way to actually see the number on the scale go down and stay down, right? So if you're wondering, right, because it's pretty nuanced, and this is probably new to you, you may not know what foods will give you certain insulin responses, right? You may not know this one ingredient, right? You may not know what maltodextrin is or whatever. Some random word in your ingredients list that has 5 syllables. I can break that down for you. I have the knowledge, I have the expertise and the credibility to actually tell you if this is something you should be including or excluding. And if we do tell you to exclude it, I will always give you a solution. Not somebody that's just going to exclude something from your diet and then give you no solution, right? So if you're on the go, that's another barrier people come across, where they have to eat more in the way of fast food. You can still lose weight consistently and eat fast food. Chris certainly did. My client Erik, he certainly did. Joel and many others, and even I will certainly eat some fast food. It just depends on how you order and the structure, right? It comes back to the same theme. Eating foods that will give you a good instant response, but just doing it at a fast food restaurant. Now, of course, I'm not going to dive into the messenger here because that's private for him, but you get the idea, right? Of course, you get the fully customized workout program, so you can see the best and the most in the way of results, right? By targeting each and every muscle group each week. And there's no cardio, not a second. It's all weight training based. So if you like weight training, this is great. If you don't, certainly got to be open to it for sure, because that's how we're going to get you results. It's going to boost your metabolic rate, and you're going to be able to eat more whenever you're including exercises that are going to give you that really good metabolic reaction. So not only can you eat more, right, but you're going to be able to feel better, you'll have more energy, and life is just going to be much, much better, just like that plant analogy that I just used earlier, right? You can kind of get that visual in your mind. Now, I'm sure you've already seen here, Chris was working out 6 times per week. He liked working out. So I made him 6 exercises per week. The price point was still the same. Now, you may be somebody that can only work out 3 to 4 times per week. That's generally what we recommend anyway. If you're a beginner, that's where we got to start, regardless. And we make sure that these workouts fall around 30 to 45 minutes. There's a warm-up. You got the actual foundation of the workouts. It's like 4 to 5 exercises each, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how we personalize it to you. And you have the stretches at the end, right? And that's it. And you got, of course, the videos, right? Number of sets, number of reps, and the rest period. And of course, a video of me or another high-level coach demonstrating the movement. Some are longer than others, some are really short. And if you've seen enough times, you can just watch the GIF and just go through your workout day to day. That way you have all the structure you need to actually have a full-on workout plan, and you don't just walk into the gym and have no plan, no structure. Because that's one big thing people lack is structure. You can't just go to the gym and just start doing whatever you want. You're not really going to be able to see results doing that. You have to have a plan where you strategically target every single muscle group each and every week. And by doing that, you'll be able to get a really good metabolic reaction and amplify some of the benefits that you would be seeing from your diet. And if you just combine those two things, everything else is going to be taken care of. You can just lose weight on autopilot. We make it really, really easy for you, especially busy guys that got a tight schedule like me. If you can only work out 3 times per week, that's fine. We condense it to where it's 30 to 45 minutes. And it's not like an in-person trainer, right? Where you're designated to one appointment and you just have to work around the trainer's schedule. You can work out whenever you want. If you want to work out at 6 in the morning, you can work out at 6 a.m. If you want to work out at 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. at night, which I don't recommend, you can do it, right? But you get the idea. There's so many other features, but I just want to show you the main things that we would have to do in order for you to see consistent results through the program, right? So customized workout program that boosts your metabolic rate so you can get more benefits from your diet, and of course giving you your meal plan. I didn't even mention this, but I personally review your meals for you to make sure you're getting that good insulin response with each and every meal. Plus, you'll have all those recipes anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to 45 minutes depending on your preferences. And of course, you have 24/7 access to message me whenever you need me, and a whole lot more. Those are just the main things that you need to be able to see consistent results and to just fast track your progress, right? So that's basically it for this video. I just wanted to show you exactly how you can lose 10 pounds per month consistently. That's the method. If you have any questions about how you can do it, feel free to message me on Instagram at itsbobbyobrien. And you can message me there, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. If you want to go over how I can fully customize a plan just like that one that is made just for you and your anatomy, your limitations, and just everything about you, and of course, most importantly, your specific weight loss goals, feel free to message me on there, or feel free to book a call in the video description below so we can get started right away and get you some amazing, incredible results like the ones that you just saw. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.